On this episode of Signature Shows, we're featuring Jono's 2J S14. Alright, so give us the basic rundown of how you got it, why you got it.
I got it back in 2009 as an auto salon looking white interior, S14.
White leather interior?
Oh no, it was vinyl. Sex spec is shit from Sydney, right?
Is that what you're into then?
No. Oh, we shouldn't be swearing.
It was just what it was available at the time, or?
Yeah, I think it cost me like 16 grand or something like that. Had a high mount 3076. It's made like 320 at the tyres.
And this is with an SR20?
SR, yep.
And how long ago are we talking?
2009. So that was like February 2009.
Yep.
Had Varun tune it, had Varun tune it. Went to Power Cruise that year, September, caught fire. So got the shits, pulled it out and decided to go 2J. It took me 5 years to get it actually going with a 2J in it.
Yeah.
I originally had a get drag for it, 6-speed.
So was your goal always to turn it into a bit of a drag car? Or?
Nah, not really. I just wanted to do power skids, man. I just wanted to just M1, So we went 2J, had a 6-speed. Then I needed to sell that to fund other stuff. So then I sold it for like 5.5 grand. Bought a 5-speed to fund other things. Yeah. Then I ditched that and bought a Power Glide. Like a very standard-ish Power Glide. It was very budget. The whole car's pretty budget actually. And I had that up until it broke like 2 years ago. Yeah. And then I upgraded the box end, yeah.
So up until that stage, it was still street registered?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Yep. Pretty cool. And what sort of power was it making then when it was street registered?
Made like 760 or something on like 24 maybe.
Which would be super fast in this chassis and that auto.
Oh, it was sick.
What's the colour, man?
It's actually a BMW colour. It's an E46.
Yeah, right.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's like apparently it's a special, like a 3 Series colour. Only came out in the E46 3 Series.
Okay. And what are these wheels?
The World S71s. So back when I got those, not everyone had them, but now they're like Simmons. Everyone's got them.
So do you run like this wheel set up to meet a certain requirement for drag racing, or?
Yeah, I run a 235 radial because I race in a 235 class.
Okay. We
started on a bigger tyre, but you're racing against full-blown race cars, so we pulled it back down a few tyre sizes. Because it still hooks in a 235, so we're a lot more competitive. Doing 830s on a 235,
So 830s?
837, yeah, 167.
And it's really not that far off being street registerable, is it?
It's still got the E-tag in it. I don't know if you can see that. I'm probably still getting charged for that.
So if you're doing Uber next?
But yeah, well, it's pretty much pulled the rear vision mirror off, put a roll cage in it, pulled the back seats out, put Kirkies in it, and a parachute, and that's literally all we changed.
Yeah.
It's very much exactly the same car.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I always admire cars that still resemble a car, not like a lot of drag races. Yeah. They're not cars anymore.
Nah. Well, this is still electric windows, central locking.
Yeah.
You know, it's still heavy. It's real heavy.
Yeah.
But I refuse to pull weight out because I keep telling myself I'm going to street it again.
Yeah.
I still really want to, but I don't know if I can swing it. I don't know if I'll last very long, you know.
I know the feeling. Body kit wise, what do we got?
It's, oh man, don't quote me. Maybe, I should know this, but I don't. So this was actually, the original front bar got smashed. This is a copy from, is it K-Mac?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember what the actual kit is.
Yeah, okay.
It was ages ago when I got it. But
yep. And what are we running? Front bar, aftermarket side skirt.
Yeah, and rear bar.
And a rear bar.
Yeah. It's exactly, those side skirts and rear are the same as when I bought the car.
Okay.
That kit came on the car.
Yep. And still steel doors and boot and bonnet, everything's still factory.
Yep.
It's pretty cool doing those times with factory
she's a big girl.
Body.
She's heavy.
Nothing wrong with that. So let's go with the parachute. Is it just a single chute?
Yeah, it's like I think it's a 180 or 180 mile an hour single chute. Yeah, so it's quite big.
Okay, so for your class, you only need to run a single. What stage do you need to go double?
It goes off your car weight as well as mile an hour, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think you got to go twins at like maybe as soon as you get over 180, I think. Don't quote me, I don't know, but
yeah.
All I know is that's what I need.
But no dramas with stopping in the big end?
Nah. It pulls up. You headbutt the steering wheel the first time you pull it.
Still factory brakes?
Yeah, they're horrible brakes, yeah. Yep. Ask your mate Brad about the brakes.
I've heard some stories. But you're still here, so they can't be that bad.
Well, you know, there's sand traps right at the end of QR Straight.
It's true. It's true. Let's have a look inside, man.
Don't. It's pretty gross.
I see a Haltech screen.
Yeah, all the race pack screen, yeah.
Yep, so what computer in that you're running?
It runs an Elite 2500 now.
Okay.
Yep.
And this is all tuned by 101?
Yeah, Verona 101. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Is that an aftermarket shifter?
Yeah, so it's a B&M, what they're calling, it's a Pro Magnum pistol grip shifter.
Okay, and so do you manually shift gears?
Well, there's only one gear change, so
Okay.
it's pretty foolproof, but yeah.
And what's to go with the cage? Is that a full welding cage?
Yeah, 6-point.
And you have to have that obviously to meet...
You do, yeah, for the IH or ATAC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Still got a stereo, I see.
Yeah, look, there's no wires anymore, but it kind of just fills the holes.
So yeah, you're really not worried about weight.
No, you can't hear it anyway. You can't hear the stereo.
This is a good point. Now, what's going on here?
It's nitrous oxide, Ben.
Yeah, right.
Don't get too excited, mate. It's only on the start line.
So explain to us why nitrous and why only on the start line.
Because when we change from the 42R to the 45, it's pretty laggy. And on the trans brake, especially on a pro tree, you know, you need to come up quick.
Yeah.
You know, because the lights don't hang around. So it was all right at a test and tune. You can just sit there and wait, let it come up. But when you're racing competitively,
yep. So just give him that extra bit of grunt.
You need a bump in, ready to go.
Yeah. So when he's talking about getting it up on the converter, is basically meaning gaining boost before you leave the line.
Yep.
So this is a way of adding a little bit extra power to help get it there quicker. So you know he's ready to go before those lights turn green. And what's to go with this surge tank?
This is a catch can.
Yep.
So there's one in the engine bay, and then if it overflows, it comes to this, so it's behind the rear wheels.
So does it have some sort of tray or something?
It does have a tray, engine containment tray, but it does breathe pretty heavy, this thing. Like the engine's pretty tight now, so it pushes quite a bit. So instead of like overfilling the front one and potentially dropping it on the tyres, it comes to here, and then if something was to happen, this is behind the rear tyres.
Right.
So it will oil the track, which sucks, but I won't put into the wall, hopefully.
Now, obviously, the first thing we notice is this monster.
Yeah, I get a lot of comments about that, unfortunately.
So what size and why?
It's a GDX 45. When we went the whole drag route by putting a cage and teching it and stuff, I just wanted to see what we could make. And at the time, Danny from Spot On was selling that manifold and turbo setup. So I sold my 42, did a deal with Danny, picked that up. And I just wanted the biggest turbo I could really fit. I just want to make as much power as I could, right, on a real budget motor.
You're already pushing the limits of how big you could physically go, can't you? Like,
well, yes and no. I could always bring it forward.
Yes. Yeah, that's a monster, man. It's pretty cool. And I love how you've got it tilted back too. It's something a little bit different.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, the gangster lean gets a lot of attention, that's for sure.
And what size wastegate are we running there?
60.
60?
Yeah.
Okay.
TL 60.
Yep, big block. So what sort of boost are you sort of running these days?
39. Yeah, well, it's not like it peaks between 39 and 40.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what sort of numbers is that delivering?
We made 1,080 on the hub on 39.
Everyone wants that 1,000.
I made 1,000, yeah.
And it's been together a while?
5 years this engine's been going.
At that sort of power?
5 years.
It's pretty impressive.
And it's had some pretty... two years ago, Jamboree, we shredded I lost a power steering mount bolt, and it kicked the pump and it split the belt, and it got sucked straight through the turbo at full noise, like at just as I crossed the finish line. So obviously, belt went through the head, held some valves open, got bent, whatever, and we kind of just band-aided it to get it back to the track. Like it's dodged, like that head is not very good anymore, and we PB'd next thing at the track. That's when we PB'd at the 8.3 167. So the thing just keeps going. Like it really needs a freshen. The whole car needs a freshen up, but I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, don't mess with the good thing.
Don't mess with the good thing. It gets no attention. Prior to coming here, I hadn't started it in probably 2 months.
Yeah.
Like the last drive I did was a shed skid at my 30th. Like I haven't driven the car since August. Yeah. So it's a good car. Like it just goes.
So that's 2J life, isn't it?
Well,
like,
yeah.
They're unreal.
Yeah.
They really are. That's
It's
why
impressive.
I suppose they dominate drag racing now.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone runs them. You know, every second car is 2J.
Anyone smart runs a 2J.
Oh, that's true. Hypertune,
Yep.
throttle body and inlet.
Yes.
Yep.
And fuel rail.
And what size throttle body's that?
Couldn't tell you, mate.
That's good.
Probably 100. I bought this rail inlet solder body. I bought that 2010 off a guy, second hand. So, and he's been on an engine ever since. Like it's.
Yeah, right. So fuel system wise,
so we had
power.
So we were running the Walbro 460s, but we ran out of fuel.
With more than one, two of them.
Yep. So
in
now,
tank.
Yeah, in a surge.
Yep.
So now we run the two. I think they're 520s, the Walbro 520s. Yep. I think they are. We run two of those and a Walbro lift to fill that.
And injector.
They're ID 2000s.
2000s. Okay. And you run E85.
Yeah.
Yep.
United E85.
Okay. So head wise, it's pretty standard, or?
Oh, it was back in the day when it was built. It was pretty good. You know, like it's ported, oversized valves, Kelford 272 cams. It was good, but it's had a hard life. Like it's been going. You know, anyone who makes over 1,000 for 5 years consecutively, like things start to. You know, like it's low on a bit low on compression now on the crank and stuff, but it still seems to make power. So it's definitely tired. But yeah, the head it was good back in the day. Don't get me wrong. It was a JHH engine originally.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So the manifold, is it something that Dan made, or?
No, so that's a spot on manifold. Like that whole thing come as a kit from Danny at Spot On.
Right,
when I bought the turbo.
Yep.
So we haven't changed anything other than we actually straightened up a bit of the lean. Like they had it on a mad, like even more of a gangster lean than that.
Okay. So exhaust wise, how big's that dump pipe? Looks pretty big. 5 inch.
5 inch, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I see the like individual EGTs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we had some issues early in the piece with temps. Like we torched ahead. This is before like when I was trying to do everything so budget. You know, everyone was saying get EGTs, you need them. And I was like nah. And then we torched ahead and we're struggling with cylinder temps and stuff. So then we ended up going the EGTs, and we did that 5 years ago, and we haven't had any issues for 5 years. So
yeah, right.
They are worth having for sure.
Suspension wise, obviously drag car, it's gonna have something pretty serious.
No, it doesn't. It's quite the opposite. It's still got the old Delekin HSD coilovers in the front. That's been in the car since I bought it, 2009.
So more like a drift sort of coilover?
Yeah, 100%. They're stiff as shit. The back ones, they were really shagged. So we put ISC coilovers in it, probably maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just got China camber arms, China toe arms, it's full China back there.
And what diff are you running?
32 GDR diff. So that's probably the most expensive part of the rear end because they're super dear now.
And it's handling that power all right?
Yeah. It's I've done a couple of axles, but so far, I've maybe done 2.
Okay. So do you have any like future plans for this, or is this where it's going to be?
I'm in 2 minds at the moment, because obviously to make it a bit more serious, you know, you're talking about pulling the IRS out, you know, and putting a decent rear end in it. Obviously pulling the engine out, freshening that up, and obviously I want to respray the bay. And I'm in 2 minds whether or not I keep going with this car or buy a rolling chassis and do something else, but I'm kind of. Drag racing's fun, but I'd much rather have a street car that I can drive to the track. Like it's coming back in now, you know. No one had street cars, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. Now it's all coming back, you know. So I think I'd like to get back on that bandwagon with everyone and do the drag week and stuff.
Yeah. Now I've seen this thing at the track, and 8s are a consistent thing for you, aren't they? Like pretty much every time I've seen it, it just runs 8.
Yeah,
every time.
It's pretty well like. Obviously, the best being 837 is usually ranges between 837 to like 843 or something. Like it's consecutive.
And that's a small window, isn't it?
It is. It's
do it reliably.
Yeah. It's somehow it just does it. You know, like it. That's why I'm so hesitant to touch anything.
Yeah.
You know, like I could have the IDS coilovers and stuff that everyone recommends. But so far, like it's doing 1.2s and the 60 without it.
Yeah.
So.
But when is enough? That's the problem with cars, isn't it? It's
exactly.
Like you get something and it's all great and good, but straight away you're already thinking, man, what can I do next?
Yeah.
You know, so you gotta
never be
stop
happy
somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
And I mean, 8.3s, man, it's moving.
Yeah,
especially in a car like this.
I was even tossing up selling it, you know, as a turnkey car, you know, for around the 50k mark or something, because to build a car that consecutively does 8.3s. You know, at like a decent mile an hour like that, it's going to cost you a lot more than that to build it.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
you know, it wouldn't be a bad buy for someone, you know, who had 50k to throw around, you know. So.
Oh, if you're interested, comment. All right, so this is the point where you decide: do you eat the Devil's Do? You know about the Devil's Do.
I do. I've had it.
Or You're going to back it into a skid for us.
I'm backing that in. That's the whole reason I'm here.
Alright, so the rules are with a skid, you got 30 seconds to impress us.
Okay.
If you don't impress us in that 30 seconds, it's doo-doo time.
Okay. Give me 15 seconds.
Somehow I don't think we're going to need the doo-doo today. All good? Yep. Oh, that quick? Down to the belts already. I think it's safe to say that Jono doesn't need the Devil's Do today. In that 15 seconds, it's ridiculous, honestly ridiculous. So big thanks to Jono for bringing this car out today. It's unreal thing, man. 1000 horsepower, S14, like what's not to love? Leave a comment for us, let us know what you liked about it, what you didn't, what you'd like to see us feature, and we'll catch us on the next one.
Next time we'll tip it in over there.
What are you doing, Benny?
Man, there's half the drag strip on here. It's not real sticky, obviously, because of their slicks. But there's a lot.